Hey everyone, and welcome to our amazing Tuesday Night Blab. So many of you guys have been following my story of how I just went from couch potato to ultra marathon runner. And, part of that journey has just been meeting amazing people, and really a lot of people have contributed to my life. So one of those phenomenal women who's really just inspired me and coached me throughout my journey is my business coach, Danielle Russo Slew. So I just wanted to bring her on tonight and share a little bit about her story, because when I first got started on this amazing journey, it was really Danielle's story that inspired me. Not only is she a mother of four, but she rocks it out at CrossFit and really just shared with me. And what really touched me so much is how she really just helped her husband to rebuild his life and stop trading time for money on Wall Street. Danielle, I know that prior to being on this amazing journey, with this company and these phenomenal products, that you were trading more than just money. You were just giving away your life. You were trading away your life, trading your future, trading time spent with your family. And I know that your life looks so much different now. So I just wanted to invite you on to this tonight and just really share with everyone who's been following, my journey, what life looked like for you before you got involved with this company and what your life looks like today.
Sure, I absolutely can do that. Thank you, Jess. So I have to just correct you for one small thing because my husband has three beautiful girls and we had two kids. So that makes a total of five,
All
but
right.
I can only take credit for two coming out of this body. So yeah, a total of five kids. And our new website is called Trading Up with Mark and Danielle. And it's I know you mentioned that word several times, and what does that really mean? And I think that, life is about choices, right? Each crossroad, you're at a choice, you're at a choice. And how do you make the best decisions and kind of keep elevating yourself along the journey? And whether that means, you start right just jogging around the block, and then before you know it you're doing the 5K, and before you know it you sign up for a 10K and a half marathon, and before you know it you're running the marathons.
Yeah.
And that's such a the running is such an amazing example. But, Mark and I were running a very successful business on the trading floor of the New York Stock Exchange. And we lived and worked downtown, and we lived in Tribeca and had a beautiful loft. And life was amazing. We had this abundant, incredible business. And we were there at the right place at the right time before everything went, through the computers. And the people on the floor were really valuable assets. And our skill set was, made the commerce and trading really what it used to be. But once the computerization came, we were really edged out, and the talent on the floor didn't really need to be there the way it had been in the past. So we were looking to reinvent ourselves when we were first responders during 9/11, and that was really a troubling time. However, the markets were super busy, and more stress and more trading and, kind of more chaos came into our lives. And now we had this like toxic neighborhood and this whole, exposure during our volunteering down in 9/11 at the pit. And so, fast forward the story just a couple of years later. I mean, we didn't know anything else. We didn't have a plan B. And in 2006, in August, my husband, Mark, at 43, had a heart attack. And then we're like, oh my God, this is really rock your world when we have five kids and tuition and mortgages and car payments and bills and credit cards and ex-wives and all kinds of craziness that was, piled onto the mix, right? The piles are getting higher and higher. He was just the stress is a killer. It was totally a killer. Now, we were pretty healthy people. We ate well. We were shopping in the farmers markets in the city and buying organic and going to the gym. So it wasn't that we were leading this unhealthy, lifestyle, but really the stress of the environment is such a killer. And we're talking tonight in the context of time, right? And trading that time for money. So if we weren't standing on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange, we weren't getting paid. And I love the idea of passive income. The idea that you could own, I don't know, a bunch of beachfront mansions and rent them out to, on the New Jersey shore all summer long for people that wanted to come. This idea that you could create passive and residual income was really unique. But however, I didn't have the capital and I didn't have, all of the credit to get all these extra mortgages to start, doing all of these real estate projects that sounded so, like could be such a great option. And, I mean, in theory, they're a great option, right? Who wouldn't want to own an apartment building and be collecting rent on 50 apartments? Super. So anyway, we wound up closing our business in 2006 on the trading floor, and we needed to reinvent ourselves. And unfortunately, we didn't have a portfolio of real estate. And unfortunately, we hadn't planned for a rainy day. And to be honest with you, we were like, holy crap, what are we going to do? And what I knew in my heart and in my gut was that I wanted something with no overhead, because we had been just so squeezed by the overhead and the stress. I wanted something, again, with less stress. I was ready to work from home because I wanted to be with my kids. Prior to that, when they were really small, I had a nanny when I was working on the trading floor. And no matter how much money you make, Jess, when you are not with your own babies and you're giving away your time, and your most precious asset on the planet is time, you can't get that back. You just can't get that back. And when you have these precious, beautiful little babies, it's really hard, to not be with them. So in 2006, we made that executive decision, as Mark was recovering from his heart attack, that we were going to close our business on the trading floor, and it didn't make viable sense to operate there anymore. And I was introduced to the industry of network marketing, and it was fascinating to me, honestly. I didn't know anything about it. I was open. The prospect of going to start interviewing to work on a trading desk on Wall Street, and again, giving away my time for money, was just like, oh, no, there has to be a better way. And I think that it's interesting because in your life, there's going to be these times where you're either open to new possibilities and you're ready to like soak in the knowledge like a sponge, or you're kind of just closed, you're closed off, like I'm not ready yet, or I don't want to hear it yet, or, don't bother me with that yet, or, and it's really just ask yourself, like, if you're getting everything you want out of your life and you've got, this Polaroid, you take a couple of snapshots, and you take a snapshot of your closet, and you take a snapshot of your car, and you take a snapshot of your bank account, and you take a snapshot of your, your circle of friends in your environment, or a snapshot of your vacation, right? And you take a look and you say like, okay, all of these things are just like perfect, and I'm like the happiest person in the world, then that's great. But I just knew that there was something more, and I was open to trading up in a couple of these areas, and the idea that if I did something differently, I could get a different result. And, yes, was it scary? Yes, I didn't know anything about the industry. I needed to start doing a lot of homework. I pretty much thought, well, where I grew up, there must have been like a Tupperware lady or something. I mean, I didn't know her, and I didn't know anything about the difference between direct sales and the difference between that and network marketing. And it was really fascinating to start learning about how big the industry is, how many people derive income from it, whether it's a hobby, whether it's part-time, or whether it's full-time, or whether people have created, more millionaires in this industry have been created than any other industry on the planet. And it's pretty fascinating to know that, when you think, gosh, people would say like finance or real estate, or, a lot of other people would guess other industries, right? So for me, it was really, I was open. I was excited to learn about this new industry that provided so many people, some form of compensation. And I thought, well, if people make a lot of money, then why couldn't I? I mean, it doesn't require any special skill set. However, it requires you to be super open and willing to learn. And I was, because I just couldn't imagine leaving my babies at home and going to work on, whatever, Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs, whatever, trading desk again, and, trading all of my time for money and missing out on what was happening. And I just wasn't willing to do that. There was no price that you could put on that. So we decided to learn about the industry. And honestly, it's really the best thing that we've ever done. Does it sound great? Do the promises sound great? Who doesn't think it sounds great? No boss, make your own hours, write your own paycheck, go on vacation whenever you want. You don't have to tell anybody. You don't have to be writing down your sick day, right? The promises of the industry sound fantastic. But like anything else, Jess, as you know, it is hard work. But if you love it and you find an environment that brings out the best in you and it doesn't feel like work every day, then you wake up in the morning and you put your feet on the floor and you can't wait to see who you're going to meet and who you're going to serve and how you can help people. I'll tell you just a really quick story. Yesterday, I had a conversation with one of the folks on my team who told me that she does this very, very, very part-time. She loves the products and she's a product user, but she's also referred other people. And we would say she's built kind of a part-time business. And she shared with me last night that she decided to add up all of the income that she's made over the course of these 3 years. And she certainly uses the products and constantly, gives them to her kids, gives them to her husband, takes them herself. So they're huge product users, lovers. She also is a runner like yourself, so she's fueling her body with the best fuel she can. And what she shared with me that was so cool was that she's always had a full-time job. And in the past 3 years, she's been working at her full-time job. But she's earned 4 years worth of annual income because in her network marketing participation, she's earned a full year's income in the 3 years that she's participated. So in 3 years, she's earned 4 years worth of money, if you can imagine that. And again, I don't need to just go out and blurt out what her salary is and, all of that stuff, but you get that, you can kind of give an average roundabout figure in your head of what a person would make in a regular job for 12 months. And then imagine 36 months, she's earned what would have taken a person, right, that 48 months to earn. And what she told me was that it has facilitated her kids' sports and travel hockey and all of these incredible things for them, vacations. They would have never been able to swing. So whether people decide to get involved to do it, just a little bit or a little bit more, or in my case, on track to really build wealth and 7-figure income, it's an opportunity for anyone, and it really is trading up when it comes to lifestyle and choices. Because when you can wrap your head around building a business from any place, anytime, anywhere, as long as you have Wi-Fi and one of these little babies, which most of the world has, an iPhone, an iPad, those types of devices. It's the magic. It's the magic of connection, the magic of relationships, and helping people be the best they can be. It's like, it's pinch me. Whereas I used to feel many years ago on Wall Street, it's like you're stepping on top of people to kind of climb your way up to the top in the corporate ladder. And in this business, it's interesting because I think no matter what company you're with, and we're keeping this as a very general call here, a very general conversation, it's a matter of like reaching out your hand and helping someone pull someone else up and like lifting people up to their highest possibility, showing them that there can be a better way, that you don't have to commute 2 hours to a cubicle or a job you don't love, and you can trade up for different choices. And if you're willing to take that chance, what's on the other side is really amazing. I mean, worst case scenario, you fail, you hate it, you go back to doing the same old job you were doing, somebody will hire you. But to really put your, go out on the skinny branch and, kind of put yourself out there, the rewards are tremendous, and it's so worth it. It's been so worth it for us. I can't imagine doing anything else. It's been a rewarding, amazing, phenomenal experience. It would just get better and better, because one of my passions and one of my, I feel like it just goes hand in hand, is my visions for our family is to travel the world. And what other job, could I have that would allow us to kind of just pick up, pack up, homeschool our kids, travel around the world, and continue to do business in 14 countries as we enjoy what this planet has to offer and show our kids that there's a lot more than just kind of, this little small bubble of a suburban nucleus where you kind of, put your roots down. And I really want to show them that there's a whole big wide world out there. And so this will allow us to do that. And so as a pathway to your dreams, leaving Wall Street and being able to learn this industry has really been what will be the propelling force in really creating the life of our dreams. So I love to talk about it. So thank you for asking me.
Yeah, absolutely. Danielle, I love how you talk about just really that this is work, right? And I always like joke around and say it's not like net play marketing, it's network marketing, right? So there is work involved, but it really is worth it. And you've been with me from the very beginning, and I started off doing this part-time like many people do, really just doing it in the nooks and crannies of my day. And like many people, I had a really busy lifestyle, right? I always said I was very busy. So you think you don't really have time, but the reward on the other end is really so great. And now I'm a full-time entrepreneur, and I do have other streams of income, but I know that this is really the source of income that's going to really be my full potential. And one of the things I just want to share is really how scary it is. When you start on this journey, I really get it. Like, I wake up every day now and I don't know anymore how much money I'm going to make. And you know what? Like, it takes courage to be able to put yourself out there. Before, right, I had a salary and I knew what I was going to make and I knew it was going to come in. But it's the bottom line is that I was just comfortable being uncomfortable. I felt stuck, and I felt I was going through my entire life just feeling like the evil that I knew, right, was better than the evil you don't. But I
Right.
really believe, and what I've learned from this experience is that you shouldn't have to live life that way. Not only do you shouldn't have to, but you don't have to live life that way. There's a better way than to wake up in the morning and dread going to a 9 to 5 and go to 9 to 5 and just go home and start all over and just dread the day, looking forward to the weekends if you're living for the weekends. And now I feel like I can enjoy every moment. And I'm going to be honest with you, and anyone who follows me knows that like there's an authenticity that about like my approach to this. I don't have it all figured out, and I'm not where you are, Danielle, and that's why I go to you as my coach. And I'm not making the level of income right now that I know I'm going to be making and that I want to make. But the bottom line is what I love so much about this industry is that it really is all about your heart. Because the bottom line is that you can't fail. There's
Yep.
absolutely no way to fail. The only way that you can fail is if you quit. And for me, I have a lot of degrees. I have, 2 master's degrees. I have, 9 years experience in I did have 9 years of experience in my profession before I just retired from it before the age of 30. But, and I went to school for so long, and I have hundreds and thousands of dollars in student loans. But in the last just 2 years, I've actually gotten paid to start creating a new life, to start creating new income. And I'm learning new skills and new habits every day that are really going to just take me to the next level. And, for me and my commitment to myself, to the world, to anyone who's on our team, Danielle, and anyone who follows us is just that, like, I'm in this for the long haul, and I may not have it all figured it out yet, but, I'm not ever going to give up. And I know that if you have that spirit and you're listening to this, like, Danielle and I have that desire for more for your life, the idea that if other people can, why not you? Then I know that this is really a journey for you, because what if it is that one thing? And I
Yep.
know that it can be. And like you said, there's really no talent required. There's no skills required. There's really no cost of admission. It's really about here. It's about like, do you want it enough to really be able to say, okay, like I'm enough to make this happen, and to really to just get started on that journey. And it's really as simple as getting started. And I love how the company we work with, especially now, is partnering with doing personal development and giving us that healthy mind and body and that mindset it takes. But for me, it's just such a powerful life change. And Danielle, as you said earlier in the call, I'm an ultra marathon runner. I can't even tell you, the absolute freedom I feel with, even though it's scary, right? And I wake up in the mornings, and I'm like, okay, like I need to make this work today, because you know what, if I don't, like, it's not like before, right? there's things like, money's not coming in regularly. I have to bust my butt to make this happen. But at the bottom line is that I can look to my 30th birthday, and I'm planning to do 11 marathons, 11 days in a row leading up to my 30th birthday. And that I don't need to ask permission for anyone to take off. That I know that I can just have that freedom. And that is really, truly priceless. And for me, I personally value my freedom more than security. And for me, that's what this is really about. It's creating that freedom. And for me, what I've gained from this experience is really just the freedom to be, do, and have everything that I've ever wanted. And that's really what I think that we can offer people.
I couldn't agree more. Very well said, my girl. You are a rising star and you are going straight to the top. When you serve other people, only good things can happen. So keep up the great work, Jess, and thank you for having me on tonight. I love to talk about this, and it's really fun being on this journey with you.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. And if anyone who is listening in tonight, I know we do have someone who has joined us in real time, so thank you. And if you're listening in, on the recording, we're going to be posting this on my YouTube channel. If you'd like to reach out to us and you'd like to learn more about it, please feel free to reach out to me. My email is toxic2exotic at gmail.com. I always say my life started off as a really toxic lifestyle. And now I get to live in a really exotic lifestyle of an ultra marathon runner, just traveling around the country, doing crazy races. So reach out to me. You can also find me on Facebook. Obviously, my name is there, spelled out the correct way. And I just want to thank you guys so much. Thank you, Danielle, for being here. God bless everyone. Make it a really powerful week. And I look forward to connecting with you.
Love it. Bye, honey.